So when they first brought meditation to America, when the guy's name was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, was the guy who brought it back in the late 60s, early 70s. He said, you have, I'll say it with this Indian, you have to meditate too. No. He suggested twice a day for 45 minutes.
Each time?
I don't know anyone who has that kind of time. My experience is 15, 20 minutes. That's reasonable. When I do it first thing in the morning. It's kind of like instead of coffee, I meditate. And usually I include some yoga with it and some reading of my wisdom literature. It's kind of my things that kind of keep. But rarely is it longer than 15 minutes, unless I'm in the car and then it's 45 or an hour. Not while I'm driving. But let me just make one comment, then I'll get to you. That was the other thing that I forgot to mention, is we treat outside sounds the exact same way as we treat inside sounds. That's why you can meditate anywhere. And I have meditated virtually everywhere I can think of. Certainly quiet and dark is best. But when you have an outside sound, like somebody sneezed, you heard coughing. Yeah, I wanted to turn and go, bless you. You heard coughing. You heard outside sounds. You treat those the same way. You go, oh yeah. And you kind of use that as, instead of, like what you were saying, it's hard to focus. When you hear those sounds, you just let them go, oh yeah, I'm meditating now. Still. So outside sounds aren't disruptive or annoying, unless it's just a dog that's just barking away and then you just can't. But you see what I'm saying? You don't let the outside sounds be inhibiting. They become cues to help you return to the Word. And then the other thing that I want to mention, then we'll get to both of your questions, is you don't get better at meditating. You don't get more skilled. I did this today in your seat the exact same way I did it 30 years ago. Exactly, no difference. For how I do it. It's like when you go weightlifting and you do curls, you don't do curls differently a year from now than you do now. You just keep doing them. You add more weight, right? But it's still the same process. It's the same with meditating. Now, the difference is, and why we do it, if you don't get better at it, why do you do it? It's not the doing it that's the important part. It's the effect you get by doing it. It's like if you have a bottle of ink, and each time you take a napkin and you dip it in there, take it out, you dip it in and it bleeds up a little more and it bleeds up a little more, until after a while of doing this, you start to notice that everything's more calm, everything's more peaceful. Not because you're making it or trying to make it peaceful, but because you're peaceful, and that peacefulness has become more and more a part of you. And your world tends to reflect how you are. So don't worry about, I got to get better at this. You are experts now at meditating. And I'm not kidding that. I'm not saying that in any sarcastic way. You know how to meditate perfectly in this one particular way of meditating, which to my mind is one of the most powerful ones. Question?
I'm going to say, so you said you don't want to abruptly stop meditating.
Right.
How do you, let's say if you fall asleep, an alarm goes off, you're going to abruptly wake up. How do you make it so that it's a slow thing, so that if you did fall asleep, you would still slowly wake up? You gave us a warning.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
So what I do is I have a timer on my phone that I just has a little dong sound at the end. I set it for 15 minutes, and then when its little bell just goes dong like that, I can barely hear it, and then I know, okay, take 2 or 3 minutes. But if I'm asleep and I wake up, then I'll keep on the mantra for a little while longer instead of just waking up and going, unless I have something I've got to get to fast, That's happened. Do you know what I mean? So you, if you wake up, then just stay there and even repeat the word maybe for a minute more. And then slowly come out. Right?
So I don't really have a question, but I was just thinking, and I can't remember the particular story, but I just kind of had a flashback. I remember reading or hearing about a story of like a prisoner of war who would meditate to go through, to endure torture, and then also
Really?
that was something that they tried to practice in the burn unit for during wound care.
Wouldn't be the least bit surprised. I mean, I've not heard those stories. It wouldn't surprise me at all. See, the cool thing about meditation is you're just putting the body-mind back to where it should be. This is how we should feel all the time. Now we've got a mechanism to get us there quickly.